Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry, I got my hearing protection on here. Um, we've had a lot of storms this year, and today's offender is this guy here. You can see I'm standing straight up and down. This thing's leaning hard, 35-40 degree angle. And with the amount of storms we've had this year, I thought it's a nice calm day. It's dry, and well, let's take this tree down. And I thought, just to make it more fun, because really what can go wrong? If I lose this, it'll go over my shoulder and into my yard. There's no trees around here. This is easy going tree work. Let's cut it down with our vintage P51. That thing ran so good the other day. Let's put it to the real test. Just to show you guys the lean. It's when the wind's blowing, friends, you can see this thing, and it's starting to get limb locked with this green ash here. And I'd prefer to not take that green ash down. I may have to. I may also take this one down today too, friends. Our blue spruce, they're dying off. There's another ash tree that's toast. I usually cut stuff like this down in fall because the grass dies off, but we may have to get in here and clean some of this up. Temperature, it's about 40 degrees Celsius, so 100 Fahrenheit. I'm going to try and get this done quick. I got to cut my way in here though to assess my lean, and then we'll go from there. We'll give her fast idle. Well, in the attempt to save this green ash here, this thing's leaning hard this way, friends. Okay? Looking at the crown, it's this way, and slightly the crown kind of curves, and I have weight out this way. So friends, I don't know if this is a good idea. Again, I'm not a tree worker. Don't copy what I do. I own land though, and part of being a landowner is you cut trees down. That's how all this started for me. Yeah, I really got to look at this lean. So friends, what I'm going to try and do, and again, I'm going to try and crack this thing about 45 degrees off of its lean, trying to save this tree. Now, if the problem is, friends, if I lose this tree, it may end up going that way, and then I'll have a problem, but we can deal with that later. I could always come in here with a skid steer and push it over if I have to, but I'd prefer not to. This is a good opportunity for me to learn, and yeah, let's just get this going. Now, the biggest problem with trees this size is you don't have a lot of room for wedges, so Danny, thank you, buddy. My friend Danny Barth made me this wedge banger. I will use it for many years. Thank you, buddy. Okay, well, we're just going to see what this thing wants to do, and we'll go from there. And because this thing doesn't have a wrap, I should put one on, but that's a story for another day. Okay, guys. Beauty. Just like that. Now, I left a little too much wood on there, but again, it is what it is. And that thing come over nice. Again, friends, just a hack playing in the woods. Yeah, I missed my back cut a little, and I missed my face cut. My face cut was good, but yeah, my hinge wood. But whatever, the tree's on the ground, nobody got hurt, and live to cut another day. Oh, I got pinched good there. I didn't see the load. Friends, listen to that old saw run. Let's get this finished up before I get too hot. This old girl's running beautifully. You can hear this thing has a governed carb, so it blubbers no matter how lean you can't lean this thing out too much. That is a awesome saw. I want more. Okay guys, vintage P51 stock with a pipe. May have 2-stage reeds. I don't think so though, but anyhow, 2 years in the waiting, I finally got to work with that thing. That thing's an absolute animal. One of the best out of the box ever made, I would say. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.